an echo check in test audio. Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. No echoes found. No echoes found. But I mean, the moment I plug this and I unplug it, it becomes double audio. Right, see, I plug this in. Testing 1, 2, 3. Eh, it's okay already. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. We're live. We are live. This is CTS Daily Behind the Scenes. I'm Yi. Go live. And we are also live on TikTok. So yesterday was kind of exhausting. We did 5 stories. I've only just managed to post the last story of the day an hour ago, which is the man that got scammed for 67,500 Singapore dollars. Welcome to the stream, Gwen. Welcome to the stream, Happy Bomb. Welcome to the stream, Maslan. Welcome to the stream, Anderson Tan 444. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yi. We are triple streaming right now. Thank you for joining, Toy Boy. Thank you for joining, Zoe. I believe I fixed the issue where yesterday when I'm checking the recordings and all the audio went muted. I believe I've joined it. Welcome to the stream, Huat. Welcome to the stream, Alice Lien 6. Welcome to the stream, Cindy Apple 88. I've also posted on X that we are streaming on 3 platforms today. Let's take a look. Welcome to the stream, Zainab. Our first story today is a local one. The first story today is a local one that I just saw posted on the Straits Times that I thought is pretty important, breaking news that we should cover first before our usual international stories. So there was a murder case in Yishun. I believe it happened earlier today, and it's a really tragic story. I've read it once. Wait, I just realized I didn't even adjust this camera. Wait a minute. Excuse me while I adjust this slightly. Why is it so hard to turn this? Wait, can I just turn this slightly? No. Okay. Looks more centered. Aye. Okay, this stand just gave up on me. Welcome to the stream, Hayabusa. Welcome to the stream, John Oi. Let's just do with what we have for now. Can we just get it lower a bit? Okay, I guess that's it. Welcome to the stream, Victor Yo. Welcome to the stream, Adi. Welcome to the stream, Linda. Welcome to the stream, Maris Lee. Welcome to the stream, Kau La Bintang. Okay, straight up, let's take a look. By the way, we are also streaming on YT and Palm.fun. Sadly today I'm not able to share screen yet on TT on TikTok. Hopefully we can fix it tomorrow. Still have some technical issues on that. So let's go here. I'll be sharing the first story that we're going through. It is thank you for the 5 Rosa, Mr. Be Happy. Thank you very much. Sorry I missed your gift. Oh no. I don't see the notes here. Not sure where would it go. Okay. Where did the notes go? Let me ask the team a while. Okay, notes, key points aren't ready. Looks like I have to wing it on my own. Welcome to the stream, Linda. Welcome to the stream, CYH. What should I... Okay, let's try to do this together live. In the meantime, before we start recording, AMA, open AMA, ask me anything. Any questions you want to know? Any questions on, content creation or any news, latest news that you want us to cover, let us know. You know, every bit of doom scrolling that you all do will help us get the latest news. And for, I guess, I'll just have to, oh, my keyboard is here. I'll just have to search here. Friends who are on Palm and YT, you can see the story that we want to cover, the first story. So it's this one. It's the Yishun sharp object attack. I think it just happened today. It's a really tragic story. It happened on the morning of 24th September, which is today. A woman was unalive. I believe she's a Vietnamese mother, aged 31. She and her husband were attacked by a neighbor who I believe stayed above them because of a noise dispute. And the most tragic thing is, neighbors' opinion of the neighbor, the young couple and the older neighbor that attacked them, said that actually both sets of family are quite okay, keeps to themselves. So it's kind of weird why this led to such a fatal dispute. And the young couple has 2 young children, believed to be aged 2 to 5. This is just a really tragic story. This is a really, really tragic story. Welcome to the stream, Ali. Welcome to the stream, Alan Yo. And there are like blood stains all over the floors, leaf lobby, inside the leaves. Anyway, even the assailant was also injured in the dispute. But I mean, the eyewitness report of how the assailant was behaving is really scary to read here in the report, because the way the eyewitness described it, it was like he was really all out, even though the female victim was already lying on the floor. He still continued persisting on, trying to continue poking the male counterpart of the young couple, the husband. Oh man, this story. Okay. Don't have the exact age of the assailant. Let me see here. Oh yeah, 67-year-old man. Bald. This happened at which block? Let me try to find it. Yishun Central. Yishun Central. Do we have an exact address? Block 323 Yishun Central. On the 6th floor. Wait. Oh, wait. So the assailant is from below? Wait, I have to double check this. Because from the report, I'm still thinking whether is it okay to, if I were to use these photos here, because there's a lot of blood stain on the floor. We do not want to get flagged on YT or TT, because that would mean we would lose AdSense. Okay, let me read this part. Even the neighbor on the ninth floor knows about the dispute between the couple and the man. And the couple has only been staying in that estate for 2 years, while the man has stayed there for. No, 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 no. No, no. No. The young couple might be staying there for more than that. This is the neighbor that moved there 2 years ago. But it seems that, everyone, even the ninth floor neighbor, the third floor neighbor, all seems to know the assailant. So the assailant is described as a man who cared for neighbors even. So why would he behave in such a manner? Wait, I can't find the part where did it happen on the fifth or sixth floor. Let me read it again. On the sixth floor, there were bloodstains at the lift lobby and inside the lift, so it probably happened on the. Okay, so maybe the noise dispute is because of your upstairs neighbor. Let me just check. It happened on the sixth floor. Entire sixth floor was cordoned off. Okay, alright. Okay, definitely sixth floor. Eyewitness saw a woman lying unconscious near the lift. Okay. Wait, then where was the part that I thought the assailant. So this noise dispute is between same floor neighbors? Because there are a few news covering this story, so maybe other sources might have more context. If anybody have further context on this news about the Yishun sharp object attack that just happened this morning, please let us know. Welcome to the stream. Welcome CYH, welcome Yoko Wang. Maybe make noise non-stop like my upstairs neighbor. Yes, Yoko, I just wanted to confirm if it was a dispute between the fifth and the sixth floor, or was it a same floor neighbor? Because I seem to have read from other sources that it was fifth and sixth floor, but on Straits Times, I couldn't find the part about the fifth floor. Because I want to cover this story first, and I do not want to give the wrong context. Let me try searching for this story online, see if there's a bit more context. How do we... But even the neighbor said that the young mother, 31 years old, could be seen often taking her children in the morning to childcare, but maybe the children were noisy at night, after childcare. But I mean, you can't help it, Everywhere I've stayed, even my neighbors upstairs also will have noise randomly at night, and then sometimes when I drag my chair, I guess I also create noise for my neighbors below. It just can't be helped. Sound travels. And even the assailant was described to be very friendly by neighbors. So, okay, CNA covered this. Let me read this on CNA. Maybe we have more context here. Okay. This story is really depressing, but I don't know. I thought this story is important enough because, as you know, we try to cover less depressing story, but some stories like this, there is social awareness to be, to be shared. I'm reading the CNA part. Not okay. All right. Okay, confirm. It's two sets of neighbors on the fifth and sixth floors. Wow. And the neighbors on the fifth floor would apparently be upset when the children ran around or dropped toys on the floor, and noise would travel to the floor below. Yeah, I mean that really can't be helped. They have two really young child, like 2 to 5 years old. I mean, oh man, this is really really tragic. John Lee, welcome back to the stream. We're gonna cover our first story, the Yishun sharp object attack that happened this morning. A very tragic story. Let me just make some mental notes on how I want to cover this. Let me check the chat on Palm and YouTube YT. Okay. Yoko Wang, you can educate the children, yeah, but even children, even when I tell them, stop running, somehow they will still run, especially when there's two of them at home, they'll play with each other. And then if you tell them, don't drop your toys on the floor, sometimes such things can't even be prevented. I mean, we do not know the context of the level of noise the children were creating. Were they like constantly doing it in the late hours for minutes or for ends? The table and chairs wear the socks. Yes, I've tried that. I've actually tried applying there's a kind of like little rubber sock for the chair. I've tried using it. Certain rubber socks for the chair, the legs, it actually creates more noise. I do not know. It's an even weirder sound when the rubber rubs against the floor. Thank you for the follow, Mrs. Anastasia Chua. Yoko Wang. Lesser noise, I buy the clothes. Yes, I do too, but I'm not really a big fan of the rubber one because the rubber one makes it harder to reposition the chair. Maybe I should switch to the cloth one. No. Okay. I mean, this is really. So just from reading this story, okay, if the assailant lives on the 5th floor and the attack happened on the 6th floor with a sharp object, we can assume that probably the assailant did not manage to get the sharp object from the 6th floor, right? We have no context, but we could roughly assume the assailant probably did not have entry to any place or anywhere to retrieve a sharp object on the 6th floor. So, I mean, are we saying that he actually went up from the 5th floor to the 6th floor with that object already prepared? You know what I mean? This is really drastic for a noise dispute. User 861, what was the reason? Well, according to the reports by Straits Times and CNA, Channel News Asia, is over a noise dispute that the 5th floor and the 6th floor have been having for years. It's because the 6th floor have two young child, between 2 to 5 years old, and the neighbor might get upset if the kids start running around or things drop on the floor, because that will cause noise to travel downwards. Maybe the 6th floor overdo it. Yeah, that's why we don't have context on that. But I mean, overdo it, please go and report to the authorities, to the town council. Using a sharp object to take matters in your own hands, that is, I mean, we have the mother now being unalive, the mother who usually takes the two young children to childcare in the morning. Espresso, go TB website, buy the child rubber with a small sponge base. Movement of chair is not restricted. Oh, okay, thank you for that. So there is a combination, a combo type rubber with sponge base. Yoko, my neighbor even say my house is haunted. Sometimes neighbor said words without thinking. Sometimes neighbor might think, something is moving. Maybe your below neighbor might say, are you moving your furniture at night? But maybe you were even overseas. They say it could be due to the pipes, contract and expand, and it sounds like people are moving furniture at the night, but actually maybe you're even overseas. So wait, I need to verify one thing. They said the couple only lived there for 2 years. I have to verify this so that I don't say it out of context. Let me just say. After that, I can start recording. I just need to verify this last point first. Were the couple only living at the block for 2 years? Because there is an eyewitness who just moved there 2 years ago. Now there's another statement saying the couple just moved there 2 years ago. I don't want to confuse myself when I say this. Let me just check. Casey Ho, buy wooden socks for tables. Wooden socks? Wait, do you mean fabric socks? Wooden socks? Casey Ho said buy wooden socks for table and chairs. Maybe woolen. Available at Die to the Soul. Espresso, I have horrible neighbors where kids jump from bed at 6:30 a.m. getting ready for school, running across from hall to room, getting ready for school, and sometimes running and jumping and shouting gets you awake and you can get ready faster. But I mean, kids are kids. I have kids too, they have to get ready for school in the morning too. I mean, hopefully we can, be more, be more patient and tolerant with children getting ready in the morning. At least it is not people playing pickle ball downstairs, right? At least it's not talk from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., right? User, can you if possible talk about taking care of old parents and well, older people, they are more stubborn. It's harder to communicate with them. Sometimes they want to do things their way. It's just, I understand we are all stressed daily with our lives. We have so many things to commit, to clear. We barely have enough sleep every day, all of us. Yeah, it's really stressful as caregivers. So, it's just, I don't know. That's why sometimes, when you have time to relax, go through the social media, you just want to chill, watch a film, just relax, take your mind off things before you rest. I understand, user. It's not easy, but we all do our best, to be considerate to each other, to be kind, especially to our parents. Casey, I have my upstairs neighbor who does woodwork projects. Thank the heavens he stopped. Okay, maybe he finally has his own workshop elsewhere that's not upstairs. Or maybe he has a new hobby. Maybe tell him to do more online shopping as a new hobby, help boost the local economy. User, I take care of my mom and I am seeing Dr. Sorit. Sorry to hear that. I know it's very stressful. Yeah, I don't know how to tell you. It's tough, I understand, but I hope you could continue giving the care, love, and support that your mom needs. I know it's not easy, but please do your best. Okay, wait. I need to check. I need to check this. Wait, let me just check the couple. Hold on a minute. The couple is staying at. Oh, user, thank you for the rose. Thank you very much. Sorry if I miss your gifts, cause I have like 2-3 screens in front of me, and I'm trying to find exactly how long have the couple stayed in the block. This is the part when you're covering, such life story. You want to give correct context. Okay, alright. So it's true. The couple has lived in the estate for around 2 years, and also an eyewitness, a witness, a neighbor with more context that also just moved there 2 years ago. So I was confused. So this is okay. Okay, I would be starting to record this soon. So if you are new here, welcome to the stream. This is TTS Daily Behind the Scenes. We cover Asian news, spotlight on Singapore. also covering US and China news sometimes when there's interesting news that helps improve social awareness, or if there's something really viral and interesting. Since we're covering a lot of content daily, we were thinking, every day, Monday to Friday, we'll be streaming live, sharing the story we're going to cover, and then do the recording live. But during recording, audio will be muted because, when we do recording, we say sometimes stuff wrong, and we do not want to be clipped saying things out of context. So please excuse us while we mute the audio while we record this story, and we will be back shortly. Muting in 3, 2, 1. Yep, and I'm back. YT and Pum friends. By the way, we are triple streaming. If you want to see the story that I'm talking about, the screen share, it is happening on YT platform. I'm unable to screen share right now for TT because technical difficulties. Because we are triple streaming, so basically when you want to stream to more platforms, even your PC or device has to be pretty heavy duty because it's gonna take up a lot of like CPU and even GPU resources. Things that we learn as we try to cover more and more platforms for multi-streaming. So I'm just gonna go through the stuff that I've just recorded. Can everyone still yes, okay. That's good. Everyone still can hear me. I'm just gonna listen to the stuff that I just recorded. Seconds or what? Making notes to the editor. Making notes to the editor so he knows how to edit this. Because maybe I have a few suggestions how it should be edited. Oh, I forgot to mention the part where the young mother could be seen taking her child to the child care. Wait, do I want to re-record this? Thank you for following. Do not waste time. Thank you for following Xiao Hei. Thank you for following Jack Stone. No, thank you for following Chut Chut Troll Song. Thank you everyone for following. Wait, there's a few parts that I forgot to mention in the story, but I mean, should I? Let me listen to the rest of it. Thank you for joining us, May Power. Thank you for joining us, Kelvin, I think. Looks okay. So far, okay. I'm listening to it now, what I've recorded. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna verify this. I've reached the part where the husband is asking for someone to help his wife. I was struggling with this word earlier during recording. Defibrillator. Defibrillator. Ran to block 322 to fetch a defibrillator. Ran to block 322 to fetch a defibrillator. This part I repeated so many times. Actually, I could re-record this. I could re-record this. In the meantime, if anyone has any questions, AMA, open AMA, can ask me anything, you know. Any stories that you like us to cover, please let us know too. If there's any new viral stories that, you know, you managed to find during doom scrolling, let us know too. Okay, I've decided I'm gonna have to re-record it. I'm gonna have to re-record it. I have to re-record this. Certain context I miss out in the story, and I think it's pretty important context. So once again, excuse us while we go into recording in session mode again. I'm gonna start with Palm and YT first. Excuse us while we go into recording in session mode because I need to re-record the story. Where is that button in OBS? Okay. font blends too well with my background. Alice Cole, Mayo, Sen Ing. Sorry, I was recording the story earlier. I'm back right now. Hi, no sound. Sorry. Raven, sorry, no sound. You talking to who? I was talking to my camera here. This is the camera that we use TTS Daily to record our stories, and then this is the TT camera, and this is the U to the tube camera. So I have like three cameras here, a few mics here, a few lights here, two keyboards, two desktops, and also this thing here that I'm going to use right now to check that my recording was okay. I just recorded the story about the very tragic story about the Yishun sharp object assault that happened this morning. Welcome to the stream, Raven. Welcome to the stream, Stephen Ao Yang. Sorry I was away earlier. Not away, I mean I muted the sound. So moving forward, the next time when we figure out how to do multi-stream together on OBS, including TT, hopefully I would be able to hopefully I will be able to share screen and also, you know, have some kind of background music when I'm recording audio, when I'm recording a story. That was our first story. Thank you for the finger heart, Queen of I can't see this word. Queen of Angel, thank you for the finger heart. So I'm just checking. This is my third time re-recording it because, yeah, I mean, I hope this take is okay. Earlier on, the take was missing some context. Welcome to the stream, May Power. Okay, I think this take is okay. I managed to cover the context that I missed out previously. Thank you for the heart me, Queen of Angels. I'm sorry if I'm quiet, I'm listening to what I just recorded. Welcome to the stream, Yanqi. This is TTS Daily Behind the Scene. I'm listening to my own recording. Usually, when I check my own recording, I will speed listen. But this is pretty serious news, very serious news. So I have to be very careful that every context is given clearly. So I need to listen the whole thing, basically. Okay, sorry guys, I was away. I had to make sure, I had to really listen to that carefully because, as I've said, this is a very serious news. I have to make sure context was correct. I mean, if it's other news, we are like yesterday, we were just reacting to the bubble milk tea employee putting his slippers into the boba. That kind, I can just speed listen to make sure that roughly all the context I got it correctly. Because that one is just reacting to it. This is really very serious and tragic, and I have to make sure that my context was given correctly. So this is okay. I'm gonna send to the team. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for following Philips TCP. Thank you for joining us, Hui Hui. This is TTS Daily. Any questions can just ask me. I will be free for the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so before I go to the next story. Anything, just ask me. Feel free to ask. And which one? Have you been here? Have you watched any of our content? And do you know that we have long form also on YT? I would really highly recommend you to watch our long form on YT because we're trying to increase our content load by double, up to 10 stories a day. But from our initial testings on TT, when we post so many stories a day, right, TT isn't quite happy. TT is thinking like, we are posting too much. So as such, the only way to really, if you really enjoy our content, if you really just want to play like a long form video and then leave it playing in the background while you do your stuff and listen to the stories we share, the YT long form is the best way to do so. I mean, personally, that's what I do usually with long form videos at home. I just leave it playing in the background, I do my stuff, and I can still listen to it. So, welcome. Thank you for joining us, Tinkle Moon. Let us know if you have any questions, anyone. Which was your recent most favorite story of us? Is there a story you want us to cover? Is there anything you want us to cover at all? Please let us know. Liang Hui Xian, thank you for joining us. Andy Mark, thank you for joining us. This would be... I'm gonna rename this file as... Oops. That was the wrong keyboard. That's the problem when you have 2 mouse and 2 keyboards and 2 systems, and I keep first story PS1. So I'm going to eh, where is this? Can we just have everyone in one group chat? Any question? Anyone? Mike, welcome to the stream. This TTS Daily Behind the Scenes. We just recorded story 1. I'm uploading to the team right now. Mary C209, welcome to the stream. Let me take a look if okay. Jemamin, hello. Hello Jemamin. Thank you for joining us on the stream. This TTS Daily. I'm Yi Yi. I just recorded the first story. About to upload to the team. Trying to figure out Google Drive because we have so many overlapping folders with similar names. I'm Sue. Wait, Sue. Jemamin, I'm Sue. Wait, I can't see. Oh, Sue. Min. Hi, Min. Welcome to the stream. Min. Okay. Sue Crystals. By the way, Sue Crystals has very nice aquamarines if anyone loves crystals. Give me a moment while I sort this out. I'm trying to upload to the team. So now I need to create a new folder here. And then I'll be uploading this. By the way, Sue, we will be streaming live daily unless it's a public holiday in Singapore. Then, you know, we have to bring our kids out. I mean live daily on weekdays, okay? Weekends, we don't need to have a live and go out with our family. And then for the source, Straits Times and CNA. And then where is my okay, I'll try to join as much as I can. Thank you so much, Sue. Thank you so much. Have you seen any stories you want us to cover? We just covered the Yishun story. Just finished recording that. The fatal assault that happened in Yishun, Block 323 this morning. You know how I told you that I don't like to cover such tragic stories, right? But this one is, I thought this was pretty important, social awareness. A noise dispute shouldn't have lead to someone being unalive. I just saw that on the news, very sad, but at the same time it's a wake-up call. And neighbors generally say both sets of neighbors are pretty much nice neighbors, They care for each other, so it's just really tragic, So where is... Okay, I'm just sending the links to my team. And there we go. We settled the first one. Jermamin, the neighbor above me is a nightmare. You can hear them when I stream sometimes. Like, what do they do? Like, are they moving furniture, dropping, playing marbles? Last time we used to think, why are upstairs neighbors always playing marbles? But you know, nowadays nobody play marbles anymore, right? It is basically the old pipings above us expand and contracting. Nobody is playing marbles at night, you know. Rocco, what's up? Hi. Thank you for joining us, Rocco. We just finished recording the first story. It's the local SG story. Hold on a minute as I... what is this? What's this? Wait, we got to block. Okay. Got to block this guy first. Jermamin, drag furniture, chopping stuff. Chopping stuff on the floor? By the way, Min, drag furniture, it could be the piping, extract and contracting, eh? But chopping stuff on the floor, I mean, I do not know. Is this a cultural thing? Cause you know sometimes when they make the, sometimes when you make the chili paste that you need the stone bowl and then you have the little stone thing that you do tuk. That one usually they do it on the floor than on a table because the stone is heavy. So it's better to put it on the floor in case the bowl roll off. I do not know, but you know when they make the chili paste, I've seen it that they love to do it on the floor instead of on a table. Rocco, does TTS work or no? TTS is a project, the Talk Squad is a project done, out of pocket, out of passion. Do you mean work as in monetization, as income? As of now, everything is done out of pocket. There is not enough income avenue to cover the costs of doing all this, and I've been doing this for almost 2 years because content creators, it's not easy. First, you need to have a certain community and size. You need to have certain virality, before sponsors start looking for you. And sometimes even the sponsors, the content they ask you to do might not be the content you want. So for us, do you mean work as viable source of income to cover everything recording we've done for almost 2 years? No, we're not commercially viable. This I know. Jermamin, leaving the drill on the table. The chopping is cultural, they aren't local. So maybe they're making, I don't know, some kind of chili padi. Max D Ryan, hi bro, welcome to the stream. Hi bro, hi Max. Where is... Max, good to see you on live. Thank you very much. We would be live streaming daily on weekdays, Monday to Fridays, unless it's a public holiday or unless we have other commitments, because we do have other real life commitments. This doesn't pay the bill. This is a hobby that hopefully one day can pay the bills. Jermamin, yeah, but I only went up twice in 2 years. I just tolerate. You actually went up, Oh my god. But I mean, honestly, you go up there. What do you want them to do? Chop more gently. Pound the chili paste softer. I mean, oh my god. Unless you're gonna go up there and give them like some kind of floor pad that they can put on the floor where they do their stuff, to reduce the noise. But the kids were rollerblading at home. Wait, you can hear rollerblades. You can hear when your neighbors are rollerblading upstairs. But wait, when you rollerblade, right? It's very smooth, what? There isn't much noise, ma. The wheels go on the floor really smoothly, what? Yes, because they were stomping. Okay, okay. You know why I was worried? Because when I was young, I always rollerblade at home. So I'm thinking, was I being a nuisance? But I wasn't stomping around, okay? Because I'm pretty good. Very smooth, front, back, very smooth. Jemamin, they weren't bleeding, they were roller stomping. Okay, 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 okay. Max D Ryan, always watch your videos. Finally see you on live. Thank you very much, Max. We will be here, So when I'm recording, I have to mute the stuff and then I record the stories and then I'll go through with you like which stories we're gonna cover for today. Today we have 5. We've covered 1. The first one was the Yishun fatal assault that happened this morning. Very tragic story. Roller stomping, thankfully, because I always rollerblade at home, but I'm not stomping, I'm not jumping around. I enjoy rollerblading just for going forward and backwards. I don't do stunts, I don't do spins, I don't do jumps. Okay, now let's go to our second story. Which one should we do? Because my hot list, I actually have a hot list of 10 here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait. What, you made this? When was this made? Sorry, I need to talk to the team. This is not this is very inefficient. This is very inefficient this way. Wait a minute. Be right back. Be right back. Begin there. Can you add everyone into one chat? It's very confusing. The Chisa said Azara never make notes. I go and make notes. Now I see on the file Azara has notes there. I don't even know why we need to do 2 groups. It doesn't make sense. We're talking overlapping stuff in both groups. No, but you need to tell me what stuff is to be said here, what stuff is to be said there. Because ultimately, when I want to say something, I want everyone to hear. So I'm going to be sending 2 things to groups. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that because I just realized, like I said, we want to up the number of content we're doing. We're doing 5 previously, we're upping to 10, and the reason that it's not like just double the workload because you upload your content by double. The amount of workload actually goes a lot more, like 3-4 times more just because you double your content. Thank you, Panda King, for that little cute emoji. Welcome to the stream. Panda King, thank you for the Heart Me. Ling, welcome back to the stream. Thank you for the rose. Milia, thank you for the Heart Me. Max D Ryan, thank you for the Heart Me. Sorry everyone that I missed your gifts. So, where was I? Okay, we have 10 stories here. I need to figure out which one I want to cover. I'm just gonna briefly go through it to them with you all. One is from Denmark, one is from US. Our viewer base on TT loves local news the most. Our viewer base on YT, U to the tube, loves more international news the most. So you know why we have headache or not. Because we want to grow both platforms, but our viewer base on both platforms love different kind of news. So must be Bunny, thank you for following. So I'm thinking I want to do quickfire news today. Could we cover all 10 quickfire news style? All 10. Huh? Okay. What should we do? Okay, sorry, let me go through the list. From Denmark, we have 18-year-old Greenlandic mother that finally be able to reunite with her child. The reason being, there was some kind of zone territorial dispute because of, where is this? Greenland and Denmark. And now this mother is finally reunited with her infant daughter. I mean, this territorial news, is it really... I mean, I could really just cover this in 30 seconds, I guess. I mean, so if we do quick fire news, let's say we do 30 seconds for this and this. The second one is in US, where so there is teaching assistant that thought it was funny to spray the aircon with a poop spray so that there'll be like poop smell all over the place, like a prank. Why are they even selling poop smelling spray? Prank. This is why I don't like prank culture. You know, prank culture has to end. Prank culture is really the only kind of pranks I like. I've mentioned many times is called wholesome pranks. You know, where maybe one person is on the phone saying something really hilarious, or two-person are in a cafe at a table and have this really embarrassing conversation, and then the bystanders or the restaurant goers just sit down there, listen to the conversation and laugh uncontrollably. You know, wholesome pranks. That is the only kind of pranks that I like. Sorry that I keep arranging my hair because, you know, for the recording I need to make sure my hair is neat. Thank you for the follow, Must Be Bunny. Thank you for welcome back to the stream, Yoko. So I guess I can cover this teacher. And what's even worse, this poop spray, this teaching assistant that sprayed the poop spray at the AC, wasn't just, it didn't even result in any prank, but it actually resulted in children requiring medical attention. What was his... Was it really a prank? Let me read this. Where is the common sense? Make it make sense. No reason for the intention at all. Was he trying to hurt children by making them smell poop, or he just wanted to... This is the part where there is a story, you know, of someone doing something, but what was the cause of it? What was the purpose? What was the intention? Welcome to the stream. Hey, but your name is very inappropriate, so I can't really say anything. Yep. So, I guess we can briefly cover this for 30 seconds for the poop spray story. Next one that I want to cover would be in India, where a cobra was found hiding in a toilet seat. Is it really hiding? It just happens to be there. You know, it went up the pipes, the sewage pipes, until into that toilet bowl. Why is it called hiding in the toilet seat? It didn't intentionally want to hide there. Would the cobra even understand what is a toilet seat? I mean, the heading says cobra found hiding in toilet seat. Are you sure that was the intent of the cobra, to hide there, to give whoever a surprise. Okay. But wow, this cobra is huge, you know. How did it this cobra is huge. I'm seeing the picture now. It is terrifying. And it's all black. Must be bunny. Lol, LOL. Next up, okay, this is related to Singapore where, oh no, this news is in, so this guy illegally entered Singapore. And believe it or not, he swam from Batam to Singapore. Like, this is like Iron Man marathon, you know, triathlon or something like that. He swam, did he use a boat halfway then start swimming to Singapore, or did he really from Batam swim to Singapore? That's insane, you know. That would probably take like, I do not know, maybe I'm thinking like maybe 6 hours of swimming. Wait, let me I need to translate this first because this news is in Bahasa. I need to switch it to English first. Oh wow. Incredible. So this Indonesian citizen took a speedboat and then jumped off from the speedboat and used a homemade flotation device and only swam for an hour to Singapore. From Batam, took a speedboat, jumped off on that home flotation device, and then took 1 hour to swim. That is incredible, you know. That speed. Sheena Go, hi afternoon bro. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you again, Sheena. Welcome back to the stream. This is crazy. So the speedboat, was it like a ticketed speedboat or was it like his own boat that he just discarded in the middle of sea? There's no context at all. This is why sometimes when I cover stories, I have so many questions about context. Like this one, this story just says the guy took a speedboat from Batam and then jumped overboard with his home flotation device and swam to Singapore for an hour. But there's no context. Did he like pay for a ticket to the speedboat, or did he like? Are you telling me he really discarded his speedboat in the middle of the sea? Must be Bunny. Then ended up being caught. Yes, he was finally caught after living in Singapore 11 months. So he did that 11 months ago. So he illegally entered Singapore by swimming to Singapore. Insane, man, this guy. I mean, if you really swim the distance from Batam to Singapore, I'm pretty sure it's at least 6 hours. Wow. And this guy has been in Singapore for the last 11 months working odd jobs. Incredible. Yep, this one I'll definitely cover. And there wasn't more news on his so-called home flotation device or even a picture or anything, you know, because people would definitely want to know exactly. I mean, last time when we watch movies, when we have these stories of how people swim from one land to another, they always say that they use volleyballs, you know, they like take a giant net, put a lot of volleyballs or basketball, then they use it to swim. I don't know if you've seen those 90s Hong Kong movies. That was how it was always depicted, you know, how people like swim from one land across to the other, you know. So this one we'll definitely cover. This one I definitely will cover more. The rest, the first three briefly, because I want to do quick fire news. And then there is this news where the Denmark airport at Copenhagen was actually closed a day ago because of unknown UFO. It was actually a drone, a green color drone in the air. I mean, recently there has been a lot of news on UFOs, you know. And most of them actually looks like drones, but there's no idea like who do these drones belong to. I guess I'll just really briefly cover this, you know, quick fire news, 30 seconds, and then next to the next news. Okay, I've seen this news. This was in Malaysia where there was this driver in Malaysia driving, and then the car in front of him started swerving left and right non-stop for no apparent reason. So at a traffic light or something like that, the driver got off and asked the driver, "What are you doing? That's very dangerous." And the driver told him that he was swerving left and right non-stop because there were ants, which doesn't make sense at all. Why would ants cause you to swerve left and right? And then apparently the person that made up the ants excuse saw that the guy that questioned him was holding a camera and filming everything. He just kept quiet, went into his car and drove off. I don't even know. I mean, when this news was first shortlisted, I was thinking, how do I want to cover this? I mean, the reason of ants is really ridiculous, but I guess it made news. I mean, 时来运转, use coconut as a floater. Really? But you know, coconut quite easy to get hole, you know. You've got hole and then isn't volleyball better? Or basketball? Volleyball, basketball, soccer ball, pump full of air, put a bunch of them in a net, and then it's basically like a life vest, you know. And then maybe with a little mini pedal so you can pedal better. Okay, this one is important. I know this news. This is about this news is a bit hard to cover on YT U to the tube, because when we talk about how do I say this, bully to the ink case, there is a pretty big one quite often in Malaysia. A lot of such school bully to the ink case. When we cover this on YouTube, the biggest problem is we get flagged for, you know, not suitable for ads. So when we don't get anything for ads, it is really, I mean, honestly, AdSense doesn't cover our cost, but at least it is something, right? So at least the more we hone our content and material, you know, to be, once we roughly know what the algorithm for each platforms allow us to post in terms of what we say. So we have to tackle this. Basically, okay, there's this female student in Malaysia that has been bullied by her classmates since the second day of transfer just because she has a buck tooth. Chinese means 龅牙. And because of that, it made her really upset, and she didn't want to tell the mother. You know, the mother didn't know what was wrong until the mother saw that her daughter has really scary drawings. And in this news, there's this one picture of the drawing. I'm going to ask the editor to really zoom into that picture. That picture is a drawing of like a face screaming in agony. Yep. And then this story has two stories of kids being bullied. Another one was a female student being bullied by a group of students because allegedly she tried to like so-called snatch the boyfriend away. I mean, wow. Lin Sunshine, love your content. Thank you for being here, Lin. Thank you very much. We are TTS, the Talk Squad. This is the Talk Squad Daily Behind the Scenes, TTS Daily Behind the Scenes. We're doing behind the scenes daily, Monday to Fridays, unless we have other real life commitments until this thing really takes off, can help us pay the bills. So far, all the stories we have gone through, everything I'm gonna do quick fire. The incredible swimmer from Indonesia swimming from Batam to Singapore, I will do more on that. The female students being bullied in Malaysia, I'll do more on that, but I have to be really careful with the wording used, that because every time I do that, we get flagged for, you know, not suitable for ads. And then we have this what's this, Tamagotchi, what was her name, you know, the story that we made, the influencer that took stuff from Don Donki, what, Yamaguchi, Yamaguchi, Tamagotchi. So now, apparently she has paid everything back to Don Donki. She doesn't have to go to prison. She will only be given an electronic tag to make sure that she is at home during her nighttime curfew. I'm just gonna really briefly cover this also, just as an update. It seems that all the news covered this, even Straits Times, I think CNA also covered this. But when I tried looking for her content online, I couldn't find anything. So it's like, because the moment they say what influencer, what Yamaguchi, I search online, like I want to see exactly what kind of content she does, but I can't find anything at all. And then, oh, yeah, and then there was this live streamer in Japan. There's so far there's this issue with IRL streamers where certain IRL streamers, when they go overseas, right, they become too excited, too noisy, kind of hurt the peace and quiet and how that country usually people behave, like in this case Japan. So there was this man who was a bit upset that he was live streaming on the train, and that streamer was also seated on the priority seat. So there's this whole thing. It's actually a 1 minute 17 seconds clip. So the best part is they actually clip it out of context. What happened was the Japanese man actually hit the streamer first on the face first. But what people did was clip it out of context, showing the streamer pushing the man away for the first time and then shoving him from behind to a second time. But if you were to see the whole clip instead of the clip content, which is going viral, you would see that actually the elderly Japanese man was the first one to hit the streamer on the face. But that doesn't excuse the streamer for later, further retaliating by giving a push, by shoving him on the back. But the thing is, people, this is the problem with clippers nowadays. They clip things out of context and then they have really misleading captions. And this kind of misinformation is, there's really too much on certain platforms I couldn't say. And when you see such misinformation, right, when you try to put a report for misinformation, usually after 1 or 2 days the platform will give you a feedback. There has been a response to your report. The content that you have reported on is deemed to be okay, so they didn't get flagged for misinformation at all. And then what they'll recommend to you is if you don't like the content they are making, you may choose to block them. But our problem is they are spreading misinformation. They're clipping things out of context with misleading captions, and there's just a ton of them. Even reporting doesn't help, so I've just given up reporting stuff that are misinformation. Anyway, those are the stories that I'm gonna go through. There is one more in Singapore about this 3-room flat. So there is this 3-room flat in Jurong that has been turned into a so-called piggy house. Is this the correct way? The Chinese term is piggy house, but I don't know how to translate it to... What is it called? Basically, 14 people sharing one toilet in one 3-room flat. Wow. The 3-room flat was divided into 4 rooms and then sublet to at least 14 people. Shh. And she actually paid 900 SGD per month. Are you serious? Is the 900 SGD deposit or per month? Are you serious? So expensive. This is the context that we need, like, why did the tenant pay 900? Imagine there are 14 people living there and each one is paying a monthly rental of 900. That's really overpaying. It's crazy. Thank you for the follow, Reese, Holy Man. Hi, welcome to the stream. This is TTS Daily Behind the Scenes. I'm just going through the stories I'll be covering later. So, Reese Holyman, how to get TTS? What do you mean? You can follow us. We are doing triple stream right now on TT, TikTok, on YT, U to the Tube, and Pump.fun. And we'll be doing live streams daily. You can see our past videos. If you enjoy longer form content, please watch our longer form content on Y to the T, U to the Tube. That is currently our best source of income through AdSense. If there is any stories you want us to cover, let us know. Or if you have seen any of our stories, any feedback, anything, please let us know. Thank you for joining us. Lin Wong, thank you for joining us. Mrs. Black, thank you for joining us. Forever Young. Yeah, as I was saying, why did they pay 900? I hope this includes deposit, you know. I hope this isn't just 900 for a month, because it's crazy if you're paying 900 for a month and it's 14 people sharing one toilet. And like in this picture, it looks like one room has like 4 people staying. This is insane, you know. I really need to know how much of this 900 belongs to deposit and monthly rental. Oh, okay, okay, thank you, thank you. Now we know. It's 1 month's rent and 1 month's deposit. Okay, it is cheap. It is honestly super cheap. 450 SGD to rent a, like basically like a hostel, a bed for a month, and then but you have to share the toilet with at least 14 other people. It is honestly cheap. 450 a month. But seriously, how are you gonna share a toilet with 14 people? Oh my god. And yeah, okay, this story I'll cover longer. Wait. I cannot cover. Wait. I need to make a note again because I cannot be covering all too long. The first one we did today, the Yishun case, that will have to be the longest one, and then we would have production. We will have productivity limits, so I need to think carefully which one I want to cover more. So I'm gonna do quick fire news for 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm gonna skip the ends part. The reckless driver, that one I'm gonna cancel it. That one can't fit the schedule. Also, honestly, not worth even for quick fire news. So I'm going to, how do I color this? How do I highlight in Excel? I'm exposed now as someone that barely does Excel. Usually the highlighter is above here. Where is it now? How does it just go missing? Wait, is it because I don't have editing? Oh shoot, I do have editing. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Oh my god. Why doesn't the undo button work? Oh my god. Okay, it's back. Excel is scary. Okay. Where is the highlight button? Oh my god. Like seriously, insert. Can someone help me? Tools. What? Fill color? Okay. This is out. Okay, quick fire news. I'll just use green. I'm gonna use. Wait, figure it out. Done. This Indonesian citizen. Should I skip the drone sighting? But are you guys interested in stories about UFOs? I'm very fascinated with, recently there's a bunch of stories on UFOs or as what they call it in the States now, is called UAPs. Okay, this one need focus. This one, the Malaysia case. Oh man, basically I can't cover all today. There's I need to decide, man. There's too many stuff to cover. I have to decide. There's too many stuff to cover. Okay, you know what? This one is important. I'm gonna put it yellow. Yellow is important. This is important. I'll do yellow. The story about the HDB flat with 14 tenants at least. Ah man. 1, 2, 3, and then I could do. And then I could do like 3 quickfire news. No. How about I put 5 quickfire news into one video? Would you guys like that? Would that do? Would you guys like it? Any idea? I mean, give me some feedback, please. Would you prefer I post more stories? Each story is like 20 to 30 seconds. Or how about I make all 5 of those into one video? Any ideas? Welcome to the stream, Eve. Welcome to the stream, Panda Girl. Any suggestions, please? I really need to know which one do y'all prefer more. I honestly prefer to make like 5 short stories into one video, then I post it. But the algorithm really does well when you do like 20 seconds or 30 seconds videos. So how? Be right back, gonna drink some tea. And I'm back. And I'm back. My hair is a bit messy today. Welcome to the stream. This is TTS Daily and I'm Yi Yi. I've just gone through the 10 stories that we need to cover today and I just realized I wouldn't be able to cover all. I really want to do a style of quick fire news that we have never done before. It's basically like every story I spend less than 20 seconds and then I next. Let's try that, okay? Let's see if this content format can work. But to be honest, it is really easy to do. It's basically just a very general summary. And then the thumbnail would probably say TTS Daily 24th September edition quick fire news. And then inside I'll probably just say 5 interesting tidbits that happen, instead of me posting it as 5 different Would that work? Or would it work better separately? Okay, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna do 5, okay? So I have 3 here. Okay, which else? The drone, I'll put a drone inside the quickfire news. worth a try. Leo Girl, thank you for joining us. This TTS Daily, I'm Yi. 公主殿下, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. X also. You know what? The Indonesian citizen one also, I'll cover it here. Wait, I have so many quickfire news. Could it be done? Is it possible we cover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7? Okay lah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's cover 7 quickfire style. Oh, she's called Genie Yamaguchi. I keep thinking Gucci Yamaguchi, Gucci Tamaguchi. Okay. I finally recall her name suddenly. And yes, she'll be included in the quickfire news. It's just a mystery that I can't find exactly what content she does. Or maybe she is on Insta to the gram, because I don't really use that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I'm gonna tell them. Telling the team what I want to do, because it's a, and then combine all 7 into one TikTok post. And the 2 yellow I will expand on. So 4 posts today. Venhala, hi, welcome to the stream. I'm Yi from TTS Daily, the Talk Squad Daily. This is behind the scenes. We just spent like the last hour or so going through the stories that we want to cover today, and then we had like 11 stories in total. I've picked 7 to be quickfire news, 3 to be expanded upon. So I'm about to start doing the quickfire news, but I'm just prepping the notes and everything so that I can record faster. Don't want any slowdowns. SG Food, welcome to the stream. SG Food, love your comments on our stories. I always see you commenting. Thank you very much for supporting us. Vanhella, could you perhaps hire a real artist for your profile picture instead of using AI? I mean, I would still rather prefer to AI generate it based on prompts, but we have already used it for over a year. Do you have any ideas what kind of what kind of, how do I say? Let's say we want to change the profile pic, right? It cannot be too vastly different from what we have currently. It has to be like the same theme, but maybe no. It should be the same objects, but in a different theme. That's what I mean. The same color scheme, the same objects, but in a different art style. If not, if you change it too drastically, people will be like, "Wait, what happened to them?" But yeah, I know. Thank you for the feedback. Something to look into, if there's really a profile pic that you see it's different, but you can instantly see and you think, isn't this the Talk Squad? I'm up for it. And maybe if we have something like that, basically if I were to feedback on our own profile pic, I would think if I want to improve it, it has to be less noisy. It has to be something a bit less noisy so that it would look nicer printed as a t-shirt logo. Maybe less objects, but still the same theme, same objects, less amount. Van Hela, yeah, cause it's better to support real artists instead of using AI. But do you know, how should I say this? Let's say for music production, now you can actually use AI to make your own music tracks, and you can own the copyright. And then it's only a matter of time before also the same happen with art. I mean, it has happened in Hong Kong. Do you know in Hong Kong they even release a teen idol drama series in Hong Kong using purely AI. So you imagine you don't even need to hire idols anymore to act in your idol series. I mean, this is the age that we are we are headed towards. Somehow in our daily life we have to use AI. At TTS Daily, we use AI a lot too, because there's so many news that we need to make sure, we need to cross-reference, we have to make sure context is correct. To be honest, we use AI too a lot in our daily lives for TTS Daily. But there's one thing to note, AI isn't perfect. So when you AI generate an image, like AI mostly, right, they're very poor in doing hands. But I heard it's better now. Last time they always have like missing fingers, extra fingers, or the fingers are like noodles. But yeah, Van Hela, I'm running away from Hong Kong then. But I mean, they already released that idol drama series in Hong Kong, so it's really a matter of time. And I mean, this is one topic that I really love to talk about. One of the things that I always watch when I'm during my free time, my leisure time. Most of the stuff I watch about is talking about what the future is gonna be with AI, because there's a lot of different scenarios of how the future is gonna pan out in the next 2 or 3 years. This is something that I'm really passionate about, that I love to talk with you all. I mean, people on the YT side, you to the Tube side, they love it when I talk about this. But our TT side, our viewership, we not really into the AI stuff yet, but it's really something personally I really enjoy, talking about, because believe it or not, we could be like less than a decade away from a singularity. A singularity means it's like the ultimate AI that would take over basically all forms of decision making. If the singularity really does become online, it could really help us make all decision making. I mean, in the past we were thinking, just going out a bit off topic, in the past we were thinking during the early years of AI. When I say early years, it was actually only 1 year ago. That's considered early year. Imagine 1 year later, we already progressed so much. So last year we were thinking, don't worry about AI. You know what's the best job you can do right now? You can become a prompt engineer, because to make AI work well, you need to prompt really well. And to prompt really well, you need training. Not everyone can do that. What happens now is AI are able to be better prompt engineers than humans. Yep, okay, maybe I ran too much a bit on that, but let's say we grow bigger, we have more capacity for more stories. I love to talk more about this. But thank you, Van Hela. Thank you for your comments made me do more critical thinking. Lo Hong Jie, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us on the stream. Sorry, my lips are dry. I'm gonna prep the sauce first. Oops, my stomach growl again. Yeah, I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm trying to eat less. Basically, my lunch right now consists of 2 eggs. I mean, and some meat lah, but yeah, it's way lesser than what I'm eating usually. Because I'm trying to lose weight. Because I'm doing live streaming, so I wanna look slimmer. But in turn, I eat a lot for dinner, so not really helpful so far. Wait, what am I supposed to do? Okay. This is what happened when... Gonna close this. Oh man, I'm hungry. I am hungry, okay. Yo, is there any biscuit? Dave So, welcome to stream. Hi, how many news do you record daily? Usually we record 5 a day. We decided to make the recording process into a live stream behind the scenes. And we also wanted to increase our content production daily from 5 to 10 at least. So usually it would be around 6 hours. Yesterday we did 5, it took about 4 hours. Meowth2, welcome to the stream. Shout out to Meowth2 if you guys like to collect Pokemon cards. Meowth2 is my guy to go to. Wow, that rhyme, no pun intended. Meowth2 is my guy to go to for Pokemon cards. Not speaking on behalf of TTS, just speaking on behalf of myself, okay? If you need Pokemon cards, Meowth2 is the guy to go to. That rhyme. Always Sleepy, thank you for joining us on stream. Yeah, like I was saying, okay, I've prepared these 3 stories and I'm hungry. I really want to grab a bite. Oh my god, I'm hungry. Okay, I need to look for some. Give me 1 minute. My god, I found some peanuts. I mean, this has to do for now. I mean, I cannot be having my stomach growling while I record the 7 quickfire news. So this will have to do for now. Not TTS endorsed, but I do enjoy this. Meowth2, go work there. I'll see you around, bro. See you around, Meowth2. Hope you come back streaming soon, okay? Impromptu ASMR stream. Listen to Yi munch on some peanuts for a few minutes. Wait, I need to make sure it doesn't spill over here. Nadia G, thank you for joining us. This is TTS Daily. I'm Yi, and I'm about to do some ASMR. I just need a bit of food. I can't be doing the news when my stomach is growling. I mean, is 6 peanuts enough? Can you all hear it? Let me know if it's crunchy. Loud and clear, really. Wow. That means, by the way, this mic costed me like almost 300 SGD. It's the blue mic. Thank you, Eep555 for the feedback. Loud and clear. Dave So. Wow, our Skills Futures Credit 500 will expire December 31st December 2025. What courses should we use it for? I do not know if there's any AI courses. If there's any AI courses, I suggest that is number one. If you like content creation, you can join some TikTok courses, or you to the tube courses. But if you're not a content creator, and if you can find any AI courses, right, I suggest you go for that first, because currently there's a lot of AI models. Personally, I'm using like 3 different models, because different models give different results, and then not all models are perfect. And then strangely, AI is very weird. So sometimes a model is working fine for me with a single prompt that I've already, maybe I made this prompt that seems to work well, but the same model never update, right? You use the same prompt, the results become worse, because believe it or not, sometimes I believe they nerf the AI, because when they nerf the AI, right, means they don't have to process your work as much, and then they sort of, they do less work. And then if you want to have the really good one, then you need to pay for like subscription, because AI models, they all live off subscription. When you pay, you get the so-called newer version model with better capabilities. Yeah, honestly, AI course it'll be useful for anything, work. By the way, do you know, sidetrack again, sidetrack again, I mean, sidetrack again a bit. When my kids are struggling with maths question and I can't answer them, right? Do you know you can scan the question to AI and AI can answer it correctly? So basically, when a tuition teacher is busy, I can use the AI to explain to my kids how to answer the maths question. And trust me, primary school maths question these days are too tough for me. Dave, so not really blockchain courses. Dave, personally myself, I'm quite familiar with blockchain. So, I mean, I've been in it for about 4 or 5 years now. So, if there's anything that I need to update myself on blockchain, I could read up on it pretty easily and catch up to date. But if you are really new to blockchain and you are interested in this Web3 area and there's a course, yes, because it's your interest. But for my case, is I've been in it for already 4 years. If there's anything new that I need to know, I'm able to read up and be up to date. But if you are not in it yet, then maybe you need some, to build a foundation first. But yes, I am also very into blockchain stuff. Let's start recording. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Dave. Love your questions and love to share some opinions of myself, not TTS opinion, okay? Okay, let me get ready. I need to go to the toilet real quick. 1 minute.